You're about to discover the cruelest punishment Zeus ever gave to a mortal, and why it wasn't meant to end suffering, but to make it eternal. Today, you won't just hear this story, you'll live it, feel what it's like to be chosen as an example, and understand why even death would have been mercy compared to this. You wake up. Your skin burns, but there's no fire. Chains are fused to your bones. The ground beats like a sick heart, and everything around you pulses, not with life, but with pain. You try to breathe. The air doesn't come. It's thick, sharp, made of screams. Old screams. Endless ones. Some of them, yours. There's no sky, just a shadow moving above. It comes with precision, with hunger. The eagle. It doesn't come to kill you. It comes to keep you alive. Your liver will regenerate. So will your pain. Every day. Forever. Zeus doesn't descend. He watches. From his throne of thunder. He doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. You stole fire from the gods, and now that fire burns inside you. Not to warm, but to destroy. This punishment isn't just for you, it's a warning. A living reminder that defying Olympus has a price. So the question now isn't why they did this to you. It's something worse. If you had the chance, would you do it all again?
The wind cuts your skin like a razor. The chain on her wrists pulses, alive, made of Olympian magic. There is no escape. There is no tomorrow, just today repeated forever. The rock you are lying on seems to have been shaped by Hephaestus with hatred. There is no comfort. There is no shade. Eternity here has the dry taste of old blood and burnt bronze. Zeus does not appear. It hovers, high in the clouds, sitting on a throne of thunder, watching. You hear the beating of wings. It's not a sound, it's a sentence. The eagle appears, giant, with eyes like molten coal. She didn't come to feed, she came to continue the routine. Every morning, same time, same scream. Your liver will be ripped out. You will feel every layer of flesh tearing, but he won't die, because the gods created something worse than death. The repetition. From above, a laugh echoes. Hermes. Creative, isn't it? Zeus really outdid himself. Not even I could come up with something so repetitive. You try to move. The chains tighten. They don't hold your body, they hold your guilt. The fire you stole still gurns in the world of men, but up here, there's only what's left of you. The eagle opens its beak. You close your eyes, but it starts slowly, as if savoring it. From above, another voice emerges, Aphrodite. I've seen worse kisses than that, Prometheus. And then the first tear happens. It's not fast, it's not clean, it is eternal. The pain is not just physical. It's ritual, a sacred sentence meant to echo forever through your flesh, your guilt, your silence. You didn't steal fire for glory. You stole it so mortals wouldn't die in the dark, so they could feel warmth, build, survive. But Zeus didn't see salvation. He saw insubordination. From his throne of thunder, he watches, still, not angry, worse, unmoved. Beside him, Ares grins with blood on his lips, still screaming like the first day. Athena says nothing. She calculates. How long until your sanity shatters?
But here's what the gods won't say. You weren't punished for rebellion. You were punished for creating possibility. The fire you gave mortals wasn't just heat. It was choice. It was power. Would you do it again if you knew this would be the price? Aphrodite leans closer from above. There's something poetic about someone so hot, ending up so alone. You bleed, but the blood doesn't fall. It rises, swallowed by the rocks, shaped by ancient rituals. You breathe, but the air tastes like rust and regret. The eagle moves away. The silence stabs deeper than claws ever could. And in that silence, a thought returns. If the gods fear fire, maybe it still burns inside you.
The stone pulses, not from heat, but from memory. This prison is alive. Every scream you've ever released is carved into its surface, every drop of blood archived like divine scripture. In the silence between torments, you start to hear them. Whispers, not echoes, messages, languages older than Olympus, words that only the forgotten gods still speak. And then, a presence, not from above, from below. A thought surfaces. What if this punishment wasn't even Zeus's idea? What if he borrowed it? A voice you don't recognize, cold, measured. Hades. Let the body heal, but let the mind rot. That's true eternity. You're not just a prisoner, you're a monument, a warning, a symbol held up to the sky, not to the mortals below, but to the titans and the gods who hesitate. And your suffering, it travels. Every time you scream, the echo descends. Tartarus listens. Sisyphus pauses mid-climb. Tantalus forgets the water. Ixion's wheel turns slower, as if to savor your agony. Your pain isn't private, it's broadcast. Then she arrives, not walking, unfolding, like vengeance blooming in the dark. Nemesis, goddess of retribution, eyes like obsidian, voice like truth with a blade. She touches your forehead, and for a moment, the pain stops. Zeus didn't punish you out of justice. He punished you out of fear. You see it all, not just your sentence, but the reason behind it. You gave fire to mortals, and with it, freedom. And the gods cannot stand freedom. So now you ask yourself, is this really punishment or containment? Far below, something ancient stirs. The chains tremble, the rock groans, and in the depths of Tartarus, a gate opens. Not for you to escape, but for something else to rise.
The stone cracks, not because of the eagle, not because of time, because something deeper, ancient, forbidden, has been awakened. Tartarus breathes, and the air above Olympus tastes it. Hermes is the first to notice, not out of fear, out of calculation. The game might be ending Zeus, or maybe it's finally beginning. The gods shift. Athena recalculates the impossible. Ares grips his spear, thrilled at the scent of rebellion. Aphrodite watches and smiles, not out of pity, out of curiosity. Is she falling in love with chaos? And then, a crack in the sky. Not lightning, judgment. Hades. He doesn't rise. He lets his voice rise. Low, immense. Eternal punishment lost its meaning when agony became routine. Zeus stands. The sky responds. Lightning splits the clouds like veins in a dying god. Thunder coils like snakes around the stars, and the mortal world feels it. Mountains tremble, temples collapse, oceans retreat in fear. Olympus is not preparing for war, it's preparing for something worse, correction. But not because of you, because of what you represent. A mortal, condemned, and still undefeated. Would you take Zeus's side and remain a symbol of order? Or would you open the gates and let the monsters rise? The chains don't snap, they surrender. You fall, not as a victim, but as a catalyst. The stone shatters like molten bronze raining from the sky. The eagle circles, confused, as if it lost its purpose. And in the void between Olympus and hell, you make a choice. You don't scream, you dive. A face waits in the darkness, not angry, not divine, just curious. Hades. He doesn't speak, but his presence whispers. Let's see if you can survive what even gods fear to enter.
You fall, but the fall has no end, because in the underworld, gravity doesn't pull, it erases. Time doesn't pass, it fractures. Above you, Olympus ignites. With a single gesture, Zeus shakes the firmament. He's mine. But Hades doesn't answer. He arrives. Not walking, not flying, manifesting, like an absence so dense it devours every light around it. When he speaks, he doesn't use a voice. He uses silence, sharpened into meaning, and it collides with thunder. Zeus, fury incarnate, Hades, stillness made unbearable. The world cracks between them. Souls rise from the deep like smoke escaping a collapsing tomb. Statues cry in Delphi. Blood rains in Mycenae. Mountains cough flame. The temples of men tremble, and priests faint mid-prayer. Zeus descends, not as a father of gods, but as a god of rage. You dare question my justice? And then the answer that silences Olympus. It's not justice when punishment feeds your pride. Hades doesn't flinch, he expands. And you are no longer just Prometheus. You are the mortal who fell without chains, still bleeding, still burning. Between them, a question rises like a blade. Would you trust Hades, a god of death who waits? Or beg Zeus, the god of lightning who never forgives? But there's no time to choose, because something else comes down. Not a god, not a monster, a disruption. Eris, goddess of discord. No temple, no army, no warning. Just a single golden object in her hand. Small, perfect, deadly. An apple. Etched on its surface, a phrase. To the most beautiful. You feel it. The air shifts. Not from fear, from prophecy. This is no longer about your punishment. This is about what your pain has triggered.
Silence. Total. No thunder, no wind, not even a heartbeat. Zeus stops.
Hades steps back. The underworld holds its breath. In the center of the void, she is there, Eris. It has no crown, there is no temple, but it carries what can destroy all of that. She raises the golden snitch. With a glow that doesn't heat up, it hurts. The words engraved on it seem to whisper in your ear, "To the most beautiful." You feel a new pain, non-physical, mental, as if your name were being scratched from the fabric of existence. Aphrodite appears first, then Athena, and finally Hera. 3 goddesses, 3 looks, and a dispute that has no right answer. The snitch is not just a gift, it's a trap. Eris smiles. True chaos begins with something simple, a choice, and then she throws the snitch. This heavy snitch flies straight to your hands. Would you give this gift to a goddess, knowing that choosing means starting a war that will never end? The goddesses stare at you, not angry, with expectation. Athena with wisdom, Aphrodite with desire, Hera with power. Zeus says nothing. Hades dissolves, and the world awaits your answer.
The snitch is in your hands, heavy as a world, silent as an omen. The 3 goddesses surround you. Athena steps forward. Choose wisdom. I will give you clarity. I will make you eternal. Aphrodite smiles. Choose love. I will give you the most beautiful woman in the world, and she will be yours. Hera, still. Choose power. I will give you a throne, not just among men, but among gods. The apple vibrates. Your blood heats up. You realize that no choice is simple, because each of them is a war in disguise. Zeus watches silently. He already knows any decision you make will set the world on fire. Eris just laughed. Choose quickly. We don't have eternity yet. Would you choose wisdom, love, or power? His hand trembles. You feel the weight of unlived futures. Horses burning Troy, fleets crossing the Aegean Sea, divided gods, men dying for a desire that wasn't theirs. You want to throw the snitch away, but it sticks to the skin, as if it were part of the punishment. The eagle returns to the sky, not to devour you, but to observe. The trial is happening now, and it's yours. You hesitate, just for a second, but that's enough. The 3 goddesses advance at the same time, gold nails, looks of eternity. Hera's hand glows. At the voice of Athena, a cutting wind turns. Aphrodite's sigh turns into perfume, which suffocates. You back away, 1 step, and the ground breaks, literally. The rock beneath your feet cracks like a cosmic egg. Reality collapses, and you with her. The snitch slips from his fingers, Jura in the air. It shines like a killer sun and disappears into the crack. You scream, but no one answers. Only one voice accompanies you in your fall. Grave, evening, familiar. The real punishment has not yet begun. You fall, by the bones of the world, between broken columns, among forgotten gods, and then the void. Total. Until you hear it. Chains, and the muffled sound of someone laughing? What if you're not the only convict who wants to escape? You try to breathe, but the air tastes of rust and punishment. Tartarus welcomes you like an old friend, and deep down, eyes open.
You open your eyes, but you don't see. Because in Tartarus,
light does not enter. She runs away. Only the sound remains. And he is terrible. Laughter, dragging chains, one hand, free, strong. Human? No. The face approaches, or what's left of it. It is Sisyphus. Ah, a new neighbor. Behind him, Tantalus smiles thirstily. Ixion spins like a clock without time. You are among the eternally damned. And the voice returns, whispering straight into your skull. If surviving Zeus's punishment was already impossible, wait until the gods decide you belong in the underworld. If you want to find out what awaits you in Tartarus, subscribe and activate the bell, because the next chapter has already begun to hunt you.